All right, people. This is Lucifer here, and this is a precautionary tale of what happens when no one tells you what's going on and no one understands what's going on. Nobody tells you what's going on. This is a precautionary thing. This is a precautionary tale. Um, like I said before, me, I'm a god now. So you want to gang stalk me, you're gonna get gang stalked too. Everybody knows this. It's not a secret. People are going to jail. All kinds of things are happening. So it's your choice. We can do it the easy way, or we can do it the hard way. If you want to do it the hard way, good luck, because you're not gonna win. But it is what it is, and this is how they manipulate things. There's a lot of people, like probably people that work in a couple of levels under, didn't know that this was going on. But there's somebody in the upper levels that knew what was going on. There's somebody in the upper level that did actually do all this. This was legit. This was happening, right? This is happening. So the thing is, when you become a god, when you evolve in apotheosis, um, some people might, some these things might try to be might try to help you, or they might try to scare you, right? But the thing is, you can get scared easily when you don't understand that you're actually stronger than them. The only thing is, they manipulate life, the day people, right? They manipulate life to make it seem as if you're in the immediate danger, or somebody might come around and hurt you, or you in danger, or this and that and this and that and this and that and this and that. But the thing is, if you stand firm long enough, if you don't believe in God, if you don't pray and you just sit there and you look at him, ain't shit gonna happen. And you can do this every day continuously, every day. You can be like, and then you're really gonna be like, oh shit, he was right. These motherfuckers never do shit. But when you're in fear, when they smell fear, maybe they might do something. And even then, bro, like even if you're in fear, they still won't do anything. So it's just to reduce. If you act like that, that means you're doing it for another purpose. You're not doing it to physically hurt me. You're doing this because you want to remove my power away from me. That's why you're doing it. Because you never hurt me, you never touch me, you never do anything special. So what you want to do is for me to be in fear, forget that I'm a god, and do a whole bunch of nonsense, unlike this man did. I'm not saying he did a whole bunch of nonsense, but he didn't know. He didn't understand. He was probably in apotheosis, or he was going to be in apotheosis. From what I'm not thinking that he was in apotheosis. He just didn't know what it was, because he tried to tell his mom and everything and blah blah blah. So he didn't know what was going on. And probably his mom knew what was going on too. Probably his mom was going on too, because we're more part of the world than people admit that we're part of the world. Like, people know us, people know people like us more than they let on. Like, they're used to us more than they let on. The thing is, they don't like people act like us. Humans don't like people like us because they feel that we might be superior to them. They don't like us because they feel like we're better than them or something like that. It's called prejudice. Humans have a high amount of prejudice. Humans have a high amount of prejudice. So, his mom knew what was going on, bro. His mom knew that he was special as soon as he was born. And she didn't bother to mess around with him, telling him that kind of stuff, because it does get hard and it's complicated to understand, and especially as a child. Well, as a child it's better to explain these things, but you have to be knowledgeable about these things yourself in order to explain your child what's going on. If you're not knowledgeable in these kinds of things, you can't really teach the child. So you just, you just try your best that he lives a normal life, and whatever's whatever. But the thing is, I think that was her single mistake. She kind of like avoided the subject. So that was her single mistake. And this is why this happened. If she had come clean and said, yeah, you're a special kid, you're gonna see weird things, weird things are gonna happen, it's kind of normal, because you have some form of spiritual strength, and now you have to go and practice your spiritual strength, or you have to listen to something that can help you so you can attain that level, so like that you can run free, and you can move free. So anyway, let's check this out.
Chapter in the past, which we'll be discussing today.
Throughout the mid to late 80s, a large upswing of brands from all industries began conceptualizing mascots to help market their products. Their mileage varied, with many of these ideas being phased out as quickly as they debuted due to poor reception. Of the more successful from this era, however, was a character created for Domino's Pizza simply referred to as the NOid. The claymation creature's gimmick was that of a thief, interfering with the chain's then staple 30 minutes or less deliveries. The mischievous rabbit-human hybrid was dressed in a red onesie, with a black N inscribed on his chest over a white circle. The NOid was created in 1986 by Will Vinton Studios, the same animation house behind California Raisins and the film Caroline. The commercials, which retain their signature claymation style, depict the character's slapstick escapades, attempting to destroy pizzas before they could reach customers. The marketing effort was by and large a success, with many to this very day still fondly remembering its slogan, "Avoid the NOid." The character quickly received a slew of toys and merchandise even, as well as 2 separate video game adaptations. There was even a planned Saturday morning children's cartoon. However, despite his popularity, the ad campaign abruptly ended in 1986, just 3 years after its conception. The character was also retired entirely, with Domino's making little to no reference to the mascot.
Okay, that's interesting, man. They created so that's the weirdest part about poor this guy. I'm not saying poor this guy. He's coming back. He's already back, or he's coming back. But I still feel bad, because they legit, it's like adding injury to insult right there, man. Like, they created a monster. The theme of the monster is to stop pizzas, stop deliveries from going to the place it's supposed to go. So that's meta right there, because they're creating this character to affect him, to stop these entities, these people are creating things to disturb him and his spiritual power, and at the same time the character goal is to stop a delivery from achieving its destination to the destined client, right? So it's kind of crazy. Like, the data is being, anyway, it's crazy shit, man. It's crazy shit, bro.
Mascot for the following decade. It was as if they preferred he'd be forgotten to time, which came as a surprise to viewers who had become accustomed to NOid-related commercials lighting up their television sets. In online discussions reflecting upon that initial run, many wondered why the company had lost faith in the NOid so quickly, especially given how ambitious their previous tie-in efforts were. Some speculated that perhaps merchandising wasn't as successful as Domino's would have liked. While plausible, this didn't align with the NOid's actual performance amongst customers, who viewed him very favorably. In reality, there was a far more explicit reason the chain felt inclined to drop the character. An incident so dark that it tarnished the mascot permanently in the eyes of its creator. And this catastrophic event involves the story of a real-life man named Kenneth Lamar NOid. We'll learn more about him after a brief word from our sponsor. Do you like your hair? I know I do, but the sad truth is that 2 out of 3 guys will experience some form of male pattern. Groups.com/GFM. When Domino's began promoting their NOid mascot. As one may expect, light mockery was bound for anyone who happened to share a name with the character. However, while most would simply ignore the coincidence, Kenneth began to feel particularly ostracized. The commercials enraged him to the point that he began ranting about the spots to his family. He went so far as to claim that the company, specifically its founder, Tom Monahan, had targeted him, alleging they were routinely spying on his apartment, as well as being personally antagonistic with the Avoid the NOid slogan.
Did you hear that? So he suspected these people to survey him. How many people, like there's a bunch of people on YouTube to be like, man, they're surveying your house, man. They're surveying your house. They got, you know, microphones in your house. They're surveying your house and shit. This guy taught the same thing. This from this before 1986. This is before 1986. This was in the 70s, the early 80s, the early 80s, bro. Come on. You really think you're being there's surveillance against you, bro? You really think they got surveillance systems, bro? It's not surveillance system, man. You're creating a universe. You got the power to create a universe, man. We're living in other people's dreams. We're living in other people's dreams. You're creating your universe. You have the capability of creating your universe. You got the capability of creating your own universe. You got the capability to create your own universe. But you ain't taking your power back. You're not taking your power back. You want to listen to the people. You want to listen to the gang stalkers. You want to look at me, look at me. See what I'm doing. Look at me. Hey, I'm right here. Look. In the meantime, you're missing out a whole bunch of things. Because you're too busy with these people. With the losing kind of people. You're too busy with the losers. I don't know what they are. I call them losers. I have no idea what these people are. I have no idea. Okay, I don't have a name for them. I don't know. It's not even an insult when I say losers. It's just, to me, if you spend your time discriminating somebody and you're not doing anything in your free time, and you're not doing anything constructive in your free time, you're a loser. That's how I see it. Like, if you're not helping somebody do something, if you're not helping somebody in their business, if you're not helping the person that you're with in their business, if you're not doing something constructive with yourself, you know, like reading a book, writing a book. You don't have to read a book, but you could write a book. You could learn a new language, you know, shit like, I don't know, whatever. If you don't have a hobby, if you don't have a cultured hobby, and you just spend your time talking about somebody else, that means you're a loser. That means you have no life. You're unhappy about your life, and you have no life. So to me, you're a loser. But I could be wrong. The person might not be a loser. It's just me that sees it like that, because I don't know who you are. Like, I don't know what you are. I don't know what or who you are, because you can't talk. So, you know, you can't talk. You don't have any hobbies. Like, you're basically a loser, man. Like, that's what a loser is, bro. Like, it's you're losing that life, bro. Like, you're losing that life, man. You're sitting here, I'm winning all kinds of shit. I'm winning battles against things and entities that people thought was unbreakable and shit like that, and blah blah blah. I'm saving girls' lives, bro. I'm breaking into buildings, man, saving girls' lives, bro. All kinds of shit. I'm helping out people getting mugged in the street, Action Jackson style, bro. Doing all kinds of shit. I'm doing all kinds of shit, dangerous shit, like, you know, superhero mode, nigga. Super fucking hero mode, man. You know what I mean? So, you know, you're a loser. You know, that means I make you feel like a loser. When you look at me, you feel like a loser. So in order to counter that feeling, you lash out and you start to insult people, or you start doing, or you go join a group of people that wants to do things to you or something, even though they can't do shit. Because you're surrounded by losers. You're not surrounded by winners. You're not surrounded by leaders. You're not surrounded by people that do things. You surround yourself with losers. That's all you do. What the heck? Anyway, let's continue on.
This paranoia would continue for the next 3 years. As the commercials became more and more prominent on television and the NOid became a household name, to put it simply, it was too much for Kenneth. Eventually, he was so fed up with their perceived harassment that he sought to enact revenge against the company. This is when Kenneth decided to bring his pizza-related grievances to the public. January 30th, 1989 began as Mondays typically do. Quiet. However, that peaceful morning was disrupted when at around 11 a.m., Kenneth entered the local Domino's wielding a .357 Magnum revolver. With the utmost attention of the chain's workers, Mr. NOid then held the 2 employees at gunpoint, taking both hostage before ordering them to contact the company's headquarters. It was through that call he demanded $100,000 in cash, as well as a white limousine to use as a getaway vehicle. To prove he wasn't joking around, Mr. NOid fired the first of 4 shots into the floor, leading authorities to be called. When police arrived at the scene, they were able to establish contact with Kenneth through the phone. It was then that they learned the man's bizarre motive firsthand. He told them that the chain's founder had not only gang-stalked him, but even entered his apartment without permission. Law enforcement struggled to negotiate with the 20-year-olds, finding him to be unpredictable. At times, he'd appear rational, only to immediately become unresponsive. In exchange for the hostages, Mr. NOid demanded them to retrieve a science fiction book titled The Widow's Son. However, once they obtained the novel, he recanted the offer. With the standoff reaching the 6-hour mark, fatigue began to take its toll on Kenneth. Famished, the gunman revealed to his victims that he was hungry, to which the 2
I forgot to turn the mic up. Sorry about that. So, The Widow's Son. I haven't had a chance to read it. I'm not gonna lie. But I will read it as soon as I get the chance. It's ASAP. That was a message right there because he didn't read the book. He ordered. He asked them because he gets arrested. That's pretty much it. That's the end of the video. He eats the pizza and then he leaves the gun next to him and they tackle him because he left the gun on the thing, and so anyway, and he didn't read the book. He asked for the book but he didn't read it, so it was just anyway. So I guess that was a message. He legitimately on purpose sent a message to other peoples that was like him. I guess I didn't read the book. I'm just guessing. There's a triangle in there and stuff, so I'm guessing that was on purpose. There's something to understand from that. So I don't think William NOid was stupid. I don't think he was retarded. I don't think he was on medication. I think he was very clear-minded. I think he knew exactly what was going on. Unfortunately, he didn't know all of what was going on. And at the time that this happened, back in the freaking early 80s, there wasn't a community like us on the internet or YouTube that could, there wasn't a bunch of, so there was only TV and people that you can call on your phone. And most of those people probably didn't have any idea what was going on, or, people your age didn't know what was going on. Because, if he was, a teenager, or a young adult, there's a high probability that nobody knew what was going on. But like I said before, the old people know what's going on. Old people know what's going on. And like 40, 30, 50, 60, 70, these people know what's going on because they have enough experience and they read enough books, about history, to know that people like us are not something uncommon. We are very common. Having the power to create a universe is very common to a person like me. You know, being able to create a universe and having having multiple abilities is something that is, you know, prosperous to us and only us. You know, it's not everybody that can do this. And a lot of people have a problem with it, and they have prejudice. Like I told you before, X-Men. This is right now. This is happening right now. This is not like a dystopian future. X-Men is not a dystopian future. It's going on right now. I mean, think about it. Why are X-Men members always going back in time? Even in the comic books, they, you know, in the Marvel universe, they go back in time all the time, and they flash forward and then they go back in time. In the comic books, it's the same thing. The comic books, they travel through time a lot for some fucking reason. There's a high emphasis on time traveling. The reason for that is because the story of X-Men, they're basically trying to tell you that the story of X-Men is happening right now. It's not happening in the past. It's not happening in the future. It's happening right now. This is your story. This is not the story of what could happen if all the white people become, you know, prejudiced or racist against white folks. Because a lot of people make the correlation between white folks and black people and mutants, which is also true. And there's a lot of that in there. And black people are completely right to see themselves as mutants from time to time, according to X-Men and whatever's going on in the world. But at the same time, there's a specific group of people where they have actual abilities and they are able to create things, and they have immense amount of spiritual power. And because of that, the government is scared of these people, because they could wake up at any moment like I did and start changing shit like I did. And I'm gonna keep changing shit, and nobody can stop me because I'm just built like that. You know, beware the NOid, bro. Beware the NOid. I'm just built like that, bro. So I can change shit if I want to, because I can. You know, so that's what I'm gonna do. And there's other people out here, and of course they try to stop me. They try to stop me all the time. Shit. Yeah, they can't let me just walk up in here all willy-nilly, bro. Are you crazy? With all these mental abilities that I have, bro, because my abilities are very psychokinetic, man. I have a lot of psychokinetic abilities. It's not just spiritual, you know. Like, I can make things with my head, dude. Like, I can create certain things with my mind, bro. It's fucking crazy shit, you know. So a lot of my powers are psychokinetic, so that means I'm smart too, and I can see things differently from other people, so that lets me see the true nature of things. So, you know, so you can't just let me start making billions and shit like that. I mean, it's gonna happen anyway, you know, because they're on their way out and I'm on my way in. So it's gonna happen anyway. But the thing is, they couldn't let me do that before, because I could have done it at a young age. It's not like I didn't want to do it at a young age. I did want to do it in a young age. But, you know, that's when they started doing shit, you know, because they saw me coming. They knew I was, you know, they knew I was gonna, you know. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna sit there and act like I never wanted to join the Illuminati or some shit like that. That's BS. But, you know, that would be a complete lie. It happened like a bunch of times. You know? There's a bunch of times where I wanted to join the Illuminati, bro. A bunch, bro. Like too much for it to be comfortable about talking about it, right? But, you know, it is what it is. You get depressed sometimes, you know, and, you know, you feel weak. Sometimes you feel weak, bro, and one thing leads to another. And you know, you try to join the Illuminati. You end up trying to join the Illuminati. So, you know, so they already know that I have the mental capability of, you know, just taking over the world. And there's a lot of people like that. And the TV It's like Rick and Morty. You're actually watching like interdimensional TV. You're not really watching TV. You're watching shit that don't make no sense, bro. It's not even TV anymore. I don't even know what to call TV anymore, man. It's just interplanetary shit. It's ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense. It's like telepathic vision. It's telepathic vision, bro. Like you're just picking up signals. You're picking up signals from other people, and mostly the biggest signal that you can catch is the signal. You can catch other signals. It depends on what you concentrate on, what you want. But most of the time, the biggest signal you're going to catch is the Illuminati signal. And the Illuminati signal doesn't want you to become stronger. So it's going to send you bad messages. It's going to try to scare you. It's going to try to do all kinds of shit because they know that you're coming. They know that you're coming. They know that you're coming, bro. They know that you're coming. They know. Like, you know, like if it wasn't for God, they'd already be dead by now. If it wasn't for Christianity, they'd already be dead by now. If it wasn't for Catholicism, they'd already be dead right now. If it wasn't for the Vatican, they'd already be dead by now. If it wasn't for gang stalkers, they'd already be dead by now. If it wasn't for these so-called demonic entities, they'd, whatever their name is, I don't know, okay, they'd already be dead by now, bro. If it wasn't for angels, they'd already be dead by now. This is how savage you really are, bro. It's just you don't know it yet. But you're that savage. You're ruthless. You're a mass murderer. You're a genocidal. You're a genocidal tyrant. You're a genocidal tyrant. But you're not a bad genocidal tyrant. You come from the light, right? You come from the light. There's some of us might be bad. Like I said, there's some people that switch coats. There's a lot of people that switch coats. There's a lot of people that switch coats. Shit, like I told you, even I tried switching coats. So, you know, I'm not gonna sit there and tell you, oh, we're all perfect, you know, and the candy, how do you say, sugar and spice and everything nice, you know. I'm not gonna sit there and be like, oh, it's sugar and spice and everything. That's bullshit. But, you know, that's only because they left you behind. That's only because they're scared of your power. That's only because they're scared of what you might do if you get that position. That's the only reason. But in actuality, all you wanted to do was to do good things. Unfortunately, now it's too late. So, you know, now it's just business mode. Now it's just business mode. Now you got to take care of your own. And you got to be who you are and not give a fuck about other people. You know, you got to care a little bit, of course, but you got to not give a fuck about other people. You got to care about yourself. You got to, you know, start your business, you know, still stay who you are. Don't change. Stay who you are. There's nothing wrong with you. Don't change. But you can't want to save the world no more, man. You can't want to, you know, do all that stuff no more, man. That's over, man. You know what I mean? They had their chance. Humanity had their chance. If they really wanted to be free, they would have been free decades ago. Decades. Hundreds of years ago. Because like I told you before, you're not new to this. They act like they don't know, but they know. Like there's nothing, they know who you are. They always know who you are. I mean, they didn't know who you were like the first time they saw you. But if you hanging around a bunch of people, if you hang around a couple people, the word gets out. The word gets out. He's that kind of guy. He's that kind of guy. You know, the best friend snitching on you. Your best friend is snitching on you. They be like, he's that kind of guy. He's that guy, bro. Everybody's snitching on you. Everybody's snitching on you, so they already know who you are. So, you know, it is what it is. Anyways, man, I gotta go. My name is Lucifer. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.